to say, okay, these are the strengths that I have that I can apply to my next role that I'm aiming towards. And when talking about things that surprised me, one, I really liked how in the assessment it pointed out pet peeves. I thought that was really cool. And
I'm going to take a screenshot of this slide.
Here, I feel like somebody came inside my brain and took a lot of information out. And then I also really loved the suggested jobs, because I also think, something that you're mentioning, you took this in March, now you're taking this, took it recently, and it's like you changed. And so just imagine what that looks like if you've taken time off and then you're returning to like how you've adapted and changed and, built other strengths in that time.
Absolutely, Nicole. And I think another thing too is it takes off blinders from people to really say, hey, there's all these different types of other roles out there, careers out there, and returning to the workforce too. This is something a lot of people have a tough time talking about themselves. I know for once I have a horrible time talking about myself and pumping myself up or like, hey, this is me. A lot of people have a tough time doing that. And this kind of opens up for individuals.
Trying to read her slide.
Oh, actually, especially when talking through an interview, I feel some of the biggest interview questions, tell me about yourself, how do you communicate? Like, it's all there for somebody to be able to verbalize it in a way that would be understanding for them, but also for them to speak more confidently, especially if they're just getting their feet wet, getting back into the interviewing process, or just starting to look to figure out what is it that makes you motivated? What is it that makes you happy? So I think definitely I love the feedback that I got from you. I feel that it was really spot on. And even going into really quickly, looking at the summary that is produced too. And I think this is really strong for individuals because this is showing you, here's a breakdown of your core personality and here's your self-development. So it's also
need to make coffee.
That there are ways for you to develop yourself even further as an individual. Here are some challenging situations.
Simple rationale for change requested.
But then it's showing you how you can utilize this knowledge and grow with it and make a change with it.
Definitely, and I think that's so important because, a lot of times when we do take personality tests, particularly, they'll say, like, this is your result. Okay, here's your result. And it's not providing you sort of those next steps. And I know that that's something that's, like, very important for me is, okay, I have information. Okay, so what should I do with it, right?
What do I do now?
Hang it on the wall. Yeah, I mean, I can hang it on the wall, but I don't think people are really going to care about it. So
Hello.
I think it's really awesome.
My face is red from the sleep apnea mask. Wow.
Yes, and I will say, too, that's one of my strongest passions with this is the fact that it doesn't end with just taking a personality assessment. Here's your 27-page report.
Can you hear it?
I found all the assessments I've ever taken. I got the results, and that was it. And I couldn't even figure out how to read some of my assessment results. So at least it's broken down for individuals to read it properly. But my goal at Define Talent, my goal as a life and career coach is to help somebody walk through this and, to be quite honest, help motivate you, help figure out your next step. Not even just with the assessment, but just with, you have to start somewhere. So I'll give you a little push start, and hopefully, you'll be on your way and you'll have that confidence and that motivation to believe in yourself and find that happiness in your next profession.
Yes. And I want to bring up, something that I think is important here. When we talk about, as women, generalizing that we don't talk about ourselves, we have a really hard time, bragging about what we're doing, because we're doing incredible things, but we always downplay it for whatever reason, right? But also, on the other hand of that, we also don't invest in ourselves enough. And actually, one of our speakers from today, Jen Capstraw, she did a chat learn at Power to Fly where she talked about this and how she talked about where she really was in no position to invest in herself, but she did, and it paid off in the long term because she was able to get her resume built up to get to the job that you wanted, which is another aspect of this, right? But like really playing into the idea that we don't invest in ourselves enough. We always put ourselves for last, and we need to put ourselves frontline and really invest in ourselves, because as Christine said, nobody cares about your career development as much as you.
Yes, and as
Let me
a
check my
mom,
show live feed.
a business hustler, I have to say,
Where's
self-care
Bo?
and investing in yourself is so important.
Bo wants
you
to
need
say
show up
hi.
as your best, and if you're not at your best, then what good is it? And you're right. We do, as women, we have a hard time tooting our own horns. I mean, I do life
Here's
coaching.
Bo.
I have a life coach myself, and I was really
She
getting
says
down on
hi.
myself the other day, and she was like, whoa, you decided to rest last week and
Let me get some
take
coffee.
time for yourself.
Here.
That's the most
Bo,
important
can you
thing
talk
that
to
you
the
could have
people?
done. And, it released the mom guilt. It released the stress and the worry and the demotivation that I was really struggling with. And just to, again, hear it from somebody else too. Because we all have these little gremlins talking to us in our head. But to hear it from somebody else, to just say, no, you deserve this. And this is what you need in order to be the best version of yourself. And if you can't be that, then what's the use? You start first.
All right, Bo, I don't know how to hold you up.
And that self-love, and everybody else, everything else will fall into place, and you become even a better role model too.
All right, I'm gonna get some coffee.
So true.
Bo won't.
So true.
I don't know how to
So,
make Bo stand up like that.
We have some questions in the chat that I wanted to bring up. And so we had somebody ask, they said that I think I'm a mixture of a few of these personalities. Is that common?
Say that again?
I think I'm a mixture of a few of these personalities. Is that common?
Absolutely. You will never just be one single personality. So for instance, with Nicole's report, she came out as an OCU. So she was outgoing, controlling, and urgent. So everybody is going to have a combination. Sometimes you'll have 3 letters as your main traits. Sometimes you'll have 4, and that's including adaptive as well. So it's really awesome to take a look at each of these individual personality traits. But when you take the assessment and you get the results and you receive your specialized combination of these personality traits, that's when it'll open up and you'll be able to explore all of the differentiators between them and how they all work together to make you who you are.
Yes, totally. And they make a lot of sense. And so we had another question in the chat. Somebody said, I'm currently unemployed and looking to change my career. Is there a way to take the prep assessment as an individual to help me learn about myself in ways that can, with my career change and job search, or is it only available to corporations?
Oh, no, it's available to individuals, corporations, teams even can take this together to see how they work together. But yeah, absolutely. And I think Nicole will provide a link too that individuals can actually send in their name and email and get in touch with us, and we can discuss getting the prep assessment out to you. And then if you're interested too, we can also set up a one-on-one coaching call.
Perfect. So essentially, can you just take us really quickly through it, how it kind of works when somebody works with you upon taking the assessment?
Absolutely. So right now, the best way to get in touch, we'll send a link, but you can also directly email me. It's tara@definetalent.com. And just send me a quick email with your interest and what you're looking for. From there, we can send the assessment out to you, and you'd receive an email link. Again, the assessment takes about 5 minutes. We will talk prior to this, though, because I really want to dig into what your core wants and needs are before setting you up on the process.
Filtered water.
Once you take the assessment, results are emailed to you almost immediately. You can review the results, and I recommend getting on an hour long it's normally an hour to 90 minutes to do a deep dive in the assessment, of which I would set up with you. We would do a video call and really dive in to everything that came up in your assessment. And, from there, we can continue to have phone calls, or just start building a partnership or a relationship together, and I can help you in any way. We also do recruiting, so that's also something to get you into our system and to look at some of our roles. And I do career coaching as well, so again, we can take it a step further and a step further, but I tend to become very agile when it comes to it, because every individual.
Wait, did the phone just die during the presentation? What happened? Okay, where's the sound?
I'm going to send you a copy of my report, and if you read it and you know me, you will be like, wow.
Let me try and wipe up this
so
before it ruins my...
I just want to thank you, Tara. I want to really just show my gratitude to you for showing up and showing us this amazing assessment. I wanted to see if there was anything else you wanted to add today.
No, I think that's it. Everybody, be well and be you. Make it a great rest of your week. And awesome. Nicole, also, thank you to the Power to Fly team and everybody. It's been such a pleasure, and I'm so excited to introduce myself to Find Talent and our prep assessment to everybody.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone on the line. I am so excited that we got to do this, and you all got to see a little bit more of a look into who I am, which is, I don't know, exciting or not, depends on how you look at it, but it's exciting for me.
Thank you for sharing, Nicole. That was wonderful. It was absolutely so exciting to dive into that with you.
Well, thank you so much, Tara. Thank you so much, and have an awesome night.
Thank you.
All right, and so with that, we are at the end of the day. Is it crazy? I know, right? It's 8:30 in Argentina, so it's getting pretty late for me here, but I am just really excited to send everyone off. I want to tell you to please check out the Find Talent, check out the prep assessment. I highly recommend it. I also want to encourage you to come back tomorrow and Thursday, and then Friday we have the virtual career fair. And, as always, we love the interaction. We're super glad to have you here and really participate in this conversation. We're going to drop a link for a survey. If you could please just take, it's a 3-minute survey. And additionally,
link where?
Looking at our future summits, as I mentioned, we have a bunch of monthly summits coming up.
I don't see any chat.
Particular people that you want us to feature. We really want to make sure that we're curating all of the information, all of the content that we're building for our community. So please feel free to drop that in the chat.
Pandemic tool.
LinkedIn. My name is Nicole Felter. You can find me on there. You can send me over profiles, what have you. And that's that. And then finally, check out the Power to Fly website. We have tons of amazing content. We do daily chats like this with tons of thought-leading speakers where they come and share their expertise and their lives, both personal and professional. And so with that, I just want to say thank you to everyone. I hope that you've enjoyed this first day, and I am super excited to have you back all tomorrow. So thank you, and have an awesome evening. Bye.
Bye. All right, if there was a chat in this, I never saw any chat. It just looks like that, like a webinar. Where's the chat? You can participate in the conversations via the live chat. Huh. All right, let me see. Who thinks I can get 250 live views by 6 o'clock? All right. Let me see. I never changed the channel on the TV, and so I can't rewind it for Ellen, but we could listen to the last 20 minutes while I try to get the HAPS challenge for week 7. You need 250 live views. Right now I have 20. Bo, can you get some views? Huh. All right. Let me see if someone replied to my message. And yes, I see that my face looks red, but part of it's the lighting, but part of it's the mask from the sleep apnea mask right there. I do have medicine for that if I can find it. Hold on one second. That relief bill, I don't know. All right. Let's see. Here's the coffee when I mixed it with the walnut milk. Just walnuts, filtered water, and cold brew coffee. And I took 10 sips because I didn't measure the cold brew coffee, so I don't know how strong it is. All right. But it does say mix it 1 part coffee, 1 part liquid. Oh, have you seen this ad? This new they're helping people get supplies. It's an Amazon ad.
From the Masked Singer. How do we have technology to find the next Masked Singer, but we can't understand each other when our mouths are covered with cloth? Here's a question. Have you ever felt a cold breeze coming from your bathroom mirror, taken the mirror off the wall, discovered a hole that led to what seemed to be an abandoned apartment, climbed through that hole to explore that apartment? That's exactly what our next guest did last week, and now she's a viral sensation on TikTok. Take a look. I'm in my New York City apartment, and it's cold here. I feel cold air blowing on me, and the air is coming from the mirror. Okay, let me show you what I found in my New York City bathroom.
Oh my gosh. Look.
There's a room back there. Do you think my hips can fit through here? Oh, your hips not gonna make it. Straddling the inside of this wall right now. John, I'm touching something. Okay, John, stay right here. In the other side of the dimension.
Wow.
From New York City, please welcome Samantha Hartsoe. Hello, Samantha. Okay. First of all, you know, that's a nice addition to your apartment. A lot of small apartments in New York City, and now it's bigger. So, you know, for everyone who's seen all the parts knows what happened. But for those who haven't, take us through the whole thing. You're feeling cold, as we saw, and then you realize your mirror moves, and you take the mirror off, and...
Right. So obviously I've been cold for a while actually. And all of a sudden I'm feeling this breeze though, like not just like chilly, but like literally blowing my hair. So I feel around and I realize it's coming from behind my mirror. So at this point, I'm not even concerned about being cold. I'm more upset that my mirror comes off, you know, because I'm thinking I'm brushing my teeth, I'm taking out my Invisalign, and at any point this mirror could have just, and I'm done. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, okay, well, can we get it off? Like, can I fix it? And that's when I take it off and discover the hole, okay, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting maybe a vent, obviously, you know, in normal situations, maybe the wall, but definitely not a hole.
So it wasn't even a question that you were going to go through that hole to investigate. It was you. I mean, why wouldn't one of your roommates, or why did you go there? I mean, what if somebody was in there?
Yeah, I mean, these are all good questions, right? My roommates had zero interest in going in. And, you know, I feel like there are two types of people, like my roommates and most of my followers, that probably live really happy, really healthy, long lives and do not go in cults. And then there's me, and there's people that do. You just have to. There's no way. I can't live in my apartment and not know what's on the other side of my bathroom.
I understand that. I mean, did you think for a minute, because where I went is that, you know, when you're not home, somebody is taking that mirror off from the other side and coming into your apartment, that they know that there's an apartment on the other side of that mirror.
Yeah, no, I mean, that would be a really great thought I could have had, but I didn't. I was actually just so excited.
I mean, have you secured the mirror so someone can't take it off from the other side now and climb into your apartment? Okay, all right. When we finish talking, you should do that. And the hole was not that big, but you were determined to get through. You tried one way, and that didn't work. And you thought, no, I'm going to straddle it. I'm going to go in. You're like a contortionist. It was very impressive, Samantha.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my bet has now been seen by pretty much everyone, so that's really exciting. Did not think I was getting in. Obviously, I went head first, and I think that's just natural. You're like, oh, like, let me see what's there. And once John made it very obvious to me that my butt was not fitting, I actually didn't expect to fit at all. So from there on out, I climbed, like, I put my leg in, kind of being funny. Like, I was, like, telling John about it.
Where's the rest of the
I was, like,
video?
scooting back, and I'm, like, starting to realize, like, oh, my goodness, like, all of my workouts, like, have led me to this point, and, like, I might actually make it. Also, I might not actually be able to get out if I don't go through. Like, I'm pretty stuck.
Right, and you saw a drink that seemed like somebody had just been in there recently, because there was a drink there. Do you think, I mean, first of all, do you think someone is working on that apartment, or is it just, I mean, do you hear work on the other side of your mirror ever?
No, that's a great question. So I have not up until now. Now, what's weird about this, though, is I just came back from a hiking trip. So I don't know if something's happened since I've been gone, but I haven't heard noise. What I have had is the air. Not from my mirror, but I've had air coming through my outlets for a couple months now. And I remember asking my sister about it. I was like, is this normal? And she was like, no, there's someone living in the walls. That's literally what my sister said to me when I told her there was air coming through. Well, see, that wasn't comforting.
No, well, none of it's comforting, Samantha. All right, we're going to take a break, and I have many more good questions for you that you should write down. But if we have time, go put some super glue on that mirror.
I should probably turn off my YouTube before they flag it for audio from Ellen. I could.
Andy, will you check to see if there's anything back behind the mirror?
I can't call on national television.
All right.
Stare it up, stare it up, stare it up. Listen, we be cutting up. If you can't have fun in the kitchen when you cook, honey, what are you doing?
All right, I'm going to mute you for 1 second. Well, I'm back. I still need to turn off that YouTube feed before they flag my broadcast. I need some more coffee.
We're back with a very shy and introverted Samantha. What's your family think about all this?
Yeah, so my sister is like my best friend. She saw it before anybody else did, and she called me at work. She was like, I demand answers right now. And then once it went crazy, my dad has just been sending me like article after article. But what's funny is my mom. Like my mom's reaction is like what kills me. She was like, truly almost in tears, so proud of me. Like, just the most funny. And get this, Ellen, I literally for a living, I work for the New York affiliate for a nonprofit called Boys Hope, Girls Hope. And we take at-risk teens and give them a place to live, an education. We help them go to college. And I literally spend my time raising money for us. Like,
Bo says hi to the new people.
This is what my mom is proud of me of. Like, this is it for her.
Wow. Well, it's impressive, and it's a different thing to be impressed with. It's clear you're in need of a new bathroom setup. I have the perfect thing to help. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show.
Sorry.
But my Ed by Ellen Lifestyle
I'm trying to get
just came out
the
with
compression
a brand new
stockings.
Ed Bath collection by Green Touch Home, and
I have
after
to put
everything
them
you went
on.
through, we want to give you a brand new bathroom vanity. So that's the start of it. Okay. So this is what we're going to send you.
Good job.
Yeah,
It's cute, Ellen.
and that you're welcome.
Including
And
lighting?
I know that you're probably never going to want to look behind the mirror again. But Andy, will you check to see if there's anything back behind the mirror?
How much money?
Well, we're gonna give you
$10,000. Oh my
Ed by
gosh.
Ellen. That's for you, Samantha.
I can't cry on national television.
All right. Well, then we'll go to break. We'll be back, Samantha. Your story was fantastic. Seal that mirror. We'll be back. And that's your vanity.
When you have nausea, heartburn.
I'm still here. The HAPS challenge is 250 live views.
Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Rybelsus with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar.
Okay, where are my gloves? Can I reach them from here?
Dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Wake up to
These are light compression gloves.
Rybelsus. You may pay as little as $10 per prescription. Ask your healthcare provider about Rybelsus today.
You ever think Pac-Man gets tired of eating these same little dots? I can get any 3 toppings on my large pizza for just $10. Pepperoni, sausage, bacon, and $10 taste maker. Only from Pizza Hut. I think I'm about to out.
I'm gonna go check. I'll check to see if the broadcast studio is still broken and turn off my YouTube feed. But first, I have to put on the compression stockings.
You ready to go to sleep for real? Yes. Oh, wow. Guess what? You get 2 kisses.
off select areas and face the new year with confidence.
Visit drdarm.com, then call for your free virtual consultation.
Tomorrow on Sunrise, we'll continue our series on women in the workforce and the sacrifices they've had to make during the pandemic. It's been an especially difficult year for working moms, so we'll cover what husbands can do at home to help their working wives thrive.
Due to the pandemic, the need for food has almost doubled. 1 in 4 are children. You can help. Go to kgw.com/food-drive and make a donation. $10 provides 30 meals. Give with your heart.
Coming up next at 4, a positive outlook for Oregon's vaccination rates. White state leaders say 70% of adults could get a shot in the next month and a half. Then the coronavirus relief bill is expected to pass this week, and it includes some big benefits for families. We'll break down the child tax credit. Plus, Fidget Toys help a local student focus on online learning and provides a great business idea. That's our show, but if you're looking for something fun to watch after this, our friend Tabitha Brown is back with season 2 of All Love. Here's a little taste.
And this is a quick meal, remember. 20 minutes tops, all right? Right now we got our noodles already boiling. We're going to add our seasoning as she breaks it up. Salt-free so I can add as much as I want to. Flick of the wrist, okay? Flick of the wrist, okay? Some more of our seasoning right here. This is a multi-spice. Ooh, honey. So you want to make sure that the heat is up so it can start browning. Even though it's not real meat per se, you still need it to brown, okay? Right. Cooking and cooking. It's vegan cheese, so you want it to melt. The best way to do that is to let it be in with your meat and let it cook down together before you add it even to your noodles, okay? You think we need a little bit more sauce?
All right, what's next? I have to do the exercise where you stand on your toes.
Absolutely. Like that. Now, we want to go ahead because it's hot too. And let's add some cheese on it.
Ow! That was my right knee.
And then we'll add a little bit of this vegan butter to make it right creamy. Like so, like that. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. Listen, we be cutting up. If you can't have fun in the kitchen when you cook, honey, what is you doing?
Go to our YouTube
Arm
channel.
circles.
For the full episode to get more great recipes like
Since
that.
I missed my
Brady, Jesse Tyler Ferguson, Sarah
yoga
Gilbert. I
class.
want to thank all of you for watching. I feel the love in this room, and I send it all back to you. Go out and spread it around in the world out there, everybody. Bye.
Bo's still here. I'm trying to get a vaccine appointment. I can't get one.
This is KGW News at 4.
And we begin the news at 4 with breaking news. Portland's gun violence problem is not slowing down. A shooting has just happened about 90 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's why the police were.
Dawson Park. This is in North Portland.
Yeah, because all the buses were rerouted.
Right next to Legacy Emmanuel Hospital. Now we want to show you a live picture. This is from our photographer who is at the scene right now. He tells us he can see a body on the ground. We have asked for an update and some details to be confirmed by Portland Police. We will bring you more information as soon as we get it. Now we can tell you there have been around 200 shootings so far this year. That's more than double compared to last year. Well, now we want to go to the latest on the coronavirus vaccine and a bold projection. 70% of adults will be vaccinated against COVID in just 43 days. The prediction comes from the director of the Oregon Health Authority. Pat Doris explains.
With the push to expand vaccinations for Oregonians underway every day, there are both signs of hope and frustration. Let's begin with the hope. This chart from the Oregon Health Authority
the frustration
shows
is not being able to get an appointment.
Will skip Oregon both this week and next,
and
then pour into the state at a rate of 80,000 doses a week beginning March 22nd. That will take the weekly total to above 209,000 doses. Oregon Health Authority leader Patrick Allen said it could significantly move up timelines. He showed lawmakers this chart last week during a virtual meeting. The gold line is 70% of the adult population, the black line 100% of the adult population in Oregon.
Based on current federal forecasts of vaccine received, we should actually be at a place at April 21st where we would have received enough vaccine to hit 70% of the adult population, and by, as the president said yesterday, the end of May, 100% of the adult population.
Currently, anyone 45 and older in Oregon will be eligible for the COVID vaccine June 1st, but that may change.
This will likely allow us to accelerate the timelines for different categories that we talked about in the press conference with the governor last week. But candidly, I would like to get a little bit further through the senior population before I start talking about any other populations.
In the meantime, the frustration comes with the new link being sent to seniors who are picked at random for the convention center vaccine clinic. Some, like Kim Foysted, signed up to be notified, but in the meantime found a shot on her own. And now she cannot cancel the one being held for her.
It says right in the invitation that it will be held for me till about 2:15 this coming Saturday. And it's like, I don't need it now, and it's tied up all that time for somebody. I mean, for as short supply as it is and as desperate as people are to get it, that's insane.
Patty Stuckey ran into a similar issue.
I'd like to be able to cancel it so someone else could have the slot.
She got her husband an appointment at the convention center, then found him a shot at her nearby pharmacy even sooner. So Danny's already gotten his first shot at the pharmacy. But in addition to that, he has an appointment
I have a pharmacy
for the convention
call.
center this week.
Correct.
And in addition to that, you just got an email saying, log in, and now you've won the lottery, you can get an appointment.
Correct.
Wow.
I know.
You would think in the year 2021, the computers could talk to each other and know who has received a shot. And if that's not possible, you'd think there would be a simple button that says cancel to let organizers know you don't need it. And you would be wrong. It's baffling for folks like Patty Stuckey, who recently retired from a high-tech job that involved lots and lots of computers. So you're not intimidated by computer systems?
No.
No, sir. They piss me off sometimes, but
like now?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people might feel like that. Pat joining us live now. And Pat, I know you've been talking to the folks at Legacy about this issue. What do they have to say?
Well, they say that it's the best they can do right now. It's actually, they're using a tool that's made by a corporation called Epic, and Legacy is one of only 4 places in the country where they're rolling this out right now to help with the vaccine appointments, and they can't change it at this moment anyway. So there will not be a cancel button. If you're a senior who's getting one of these emails, you'll get 2 emails. After the second one, they won't bug you anymore, and after 5 days, it'll go away and move on to somebody else. They say that's just the way it is for right now.
Oh, technology. Pat, thank you so much. Well, on Friday, COVID restrictions will ease in Multnomah County. The state announced today it'll drop from high to moderate risk. Morgan Romero is live for us in Southeast Portland this afternoon. And Morgan, this is important news really for struggling businesses.
Hello. I didn't hear this announcement till now.
Absolutely is, Ashley. That level allows more people to hang out both inside and outside, meaning businesses like restaurants, bars, and gyms can open up to more people. Multnomah County now joins Washington and Clackamas County in the moderate risk category. That means up to 8 people from 2 households can hang out inside. Indoor dining, gym, fitness center, and indoor entertainment venue capacity bumps up from 25 to 50%, or 100 people, whichever is smaller. Up to 150 people can eat and drink inside. Retail stores and malls can now be at 75% capacity. This happens Friday when the state's new COVID-19 risk levels start. This map you can see shows where each county will be. Today, Multnomah County's
Moving
chief
from
health
high to
officer
moderate.
shared her outlook.
We have 3 effective vaccines. I think there are questions yet to be answered about the variants, these newer, more contagious versions of the virus, and how quickly we can vaccinate, whether the vaccines that we have hold up against these newer versions of the virus. That is all yet to be seen. But given the way the numbers are going, given that we're seeing fewer outbreaks, given that vaccine supply is expected to sharply increase later this month, I think there are a lot of reasons to be optimistic that, through the summer and fall, things may actually start to feel closer to normal.
Closer to normal. You got to appreciate that. If Multnomah County's numbers tick up again, the state could put the county in a 2-week caution period. If nothing improves, the county could slide backward again. So, Morgan, I know a lot of us were focused on this story yesterday.
I need to
The
ride the
CDC came out with
exercise
some
bike.
updated guidance on what those who are fully vaccinated should and maybe shouldn't do. So what was Dr. Vine's reaction to that?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, Ashley, first I'll note the CDC defines people who are fully vaccinated as 2 weeks after getting the final dose of their vaccination. That CDC guidance yesterday came out and said that if you're fully vaccinated, you can hang out with other vaccinated people inside without a mask, without social distancing. You can also do the same with other people who are unvaccinated from one household, as long as those people are low risk. Dr. Vines said that essentially OHA and all public health looks to CDC guidance as its sort of North Star, but ultimately takes that guidance and figures out how they're going to apply it to statewide rules. And then the state hands down a framework to the counties, and the counties determine guidelines from there. I should note, I did reach out to OHA yesterday, who said it's still reviewing CDC's guidelines. All right, Morgan, thank you. It does feel good to hear these officials feeling a little hopeful in the direction that we're going, so that's good news. Thank you. Researchers at OHSU say a recent COVID outbreak in Oregon led to a surprising discovery.
Yeah, they found
a
a
virus
Brazil.
mutation never seen before in the United States.
Never seen
Catherine
before.
Cook reports doctors believe it's another sign the virus is trying to survive.
The virus is changing and trying to evolve as we're trying to fight the virus.
Dr. Brian O'Rourke is part of a specialized team at Oregon Health and Science University tracking how the COVID-19 virus is changing in Oregon.
Okay, I'll do the exercise where you go sideways.
The Genome Sequencing Center is studying about 1% of the state's cases. A small sample, but one that led to a surprising discovery about a month ago. The more contagious and deadly variant of the COVID-19 virus, known as B.1.1.7. Originally found in the UK, it's been spreading across the United States.
3 to the left.
It was just kind of a matter of time before they would enter the U.S. and start to spread in our communities.
O'Rourke's team shared their findings with the Oregon State Public Health Lab. Further tests revealed another, even more concerning discovery.
There were additional mutations happening in that outbreak, including this E484K mutation,
also known as the EEC mutation. Scientists have found it in Brazil, South Africa, and the UK, but Oregon's case was the first in the US. Doctors believe it happened here spontaneously.
My knees are hurting.
A sign that the virus is evolving.
Why it's being called by some people EEC is that it might allow the virus to have some resistance to antibodies. And, depending on how much resistant, that may make vaccines, less effective at preventing COVID-19.
O'Rourke says even against virus variants, the vaccine is still effective in preventing severe disease and death. As we aim for herd immunity, he says the most important takeaway from these discoveries is the importance of staying the course, follow COVID-19 protocols, and wear masks in public.
If we can keep viral transmission at a minimum, we can really stop these variants of concern from kind of overwhelming our country, like they've done in the UK and South Africa and Brazil.
You want to see the Christmas tree?
It's so interesting. Well, new research shows the Pfizer vaccine appears to neutralize the coronavirus variants first identified in Brazil and the UK. Scientists tested blood samples from people 2 weeks after they got their second dose. They found the vaccine worked just as well on those variants as it did on a less contagious version of the virus from last year. However, when they tested the variant first identified in South Africa, the vaccine response was lower, but still effective. And we want to show you now a look at vaccination rates for different age groups in Oregon. You can see on this graph, people over the age of 70 have gotten the largest percentage of shots. They're followed by those between the ages of 50 and 69. The smallest group is 16 to 29-year-olds. They are 10%.
I'll tell them that I need help getting an appointment.
Talk a little politics now. It doesn't feel like election season, but voters in Oregon City are choosing a new mayor months after recalling the previous one. So we'll get to that part of the story in a minute.
I'll let you have music requests at 4:30.
Among them, current and former city commissioners
a small business
I'm
owner,
waiting for
and
the
a
commercial.
longstanding figure in Oregon's Democratic Party. It's worth noting Phil Hepner is on the ballot you see here, but he actually withdrew from the race after the Portland Tribune dug up some details on a road rage incident he was involved in a couple years ago. Voters in Oregon City told us the winner needs to get to work and fast.
They need to focus on affordable housing and shelter. And, I mean, it's not the fault of the people. It's a problem, and it's not going to go away.
Honestly, I think I know. What he's focused on is cleaning up the...
Should I do the exercise to the sides while I'm waiting?
Even driving around now, I still see his parts that haven't even touched yet.
Today's election is by mail. 26,000 ballots were sent out. Officials say it shouldn't take too long to certify the
Leg to
results.
the side.
All right, with all that in mind, let's look at the story behind the election here. Maggie Vespa is joining us. And Maggie, you have a little perspective on today's vote, which you'll cover tonight at 6 on the story.
Yeah, Ashley, that's right. And on that show, as you know, we have a little segment called How Did We Get Here? And it's basically a 90-second crash course to help viewers catch up on complex stories that have a lot of background. And this election in Oregon City, as you alluded to, is a doozy.
Habs Challenge. I need 250 live viewers. I have 57.
So how did we get here? Dan Holliday was elected mayor in 2015 and then re-elected in 2019.
What about the wrist
He started
exercise?
stirring up controversy last year. In April, when the state shut down because of the pandemic, Holliday considered issuing a declaration to reopen businesses in his city. The state
Acupressure
attorney
point.
general wasn't happy about that and threatened civil or criminal action unless Holliday backed off. Oregon City commissioners issued a statement saying they never
my
considered
elbow's here.
reopening against the governor's orders and that the mayor did not speak for them. Holliday claimed he changed his mind and said he did nothing wrong. Then in June, in the thick of the George Floyd protests, Holliday got a lot of backlash for social media posts he made. One downplayed police brutality against Black people, calling it, quote, hardly an epidemic. In another, he asked why there could be protests, riots, looting, and vandalism in Portland, but no 4th of July fireworks in smaller towns. When commissioners held an emergency meeting about his comments, he walked out.
Are you leaving? I am. So you're not interested in what the rest of us
I'll hear what the rest of you have to say on the recording.
A group started circulating a recall petition, and they were able to get enough signatures. Holliday refused to resign, so voters made the decision for him.
You want to see the poster?
In November. And that's how we got here. There you go. We'll have more on that race at 6 on the story with Dan Haggerty. And in the meantime, I do want to point out, we want to hear viewers' takes on it. We always do. They can email the story at kgw.com. They can reach out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and always use the hashtag HeyDan. Because
You want to see the band shirt?
Their comments really drive our coverage.
Yeah, they do. We'd love to hear from all of you. Thanks, Maggie. Well, up next, as plans for a new interstate bridge move forward, a project manager is mindful of the past road construction once forced his family out. He hopes to protect others. Plus, this week marks 6 months since Oregon's wildfires in one town. The firefighters hailed as heroes now fear losing their entire department.
Hey everybody, hope you've enjoyed a little bit of sunshine today. Lots of showers out there too, especially at the coast. It's cool, but don't worry, we've got a warming trend on the way in spite of the snow you see flying up in the Cascades.
You want to see more posters?
COVID-19 vaccinations. What you need to know. FM News 101 KXL. If your heat stops working, it's only a matter of time before the cold of winter makes your home unbearable.
Who didn't get to say hi to Bo yet? I don't think I'm going to do that exercise without my shoes on. There's Bo. She says hi. Nice to meet the new people. She talks. You want to hear Bo talk? Hold on a second. Bo, do you want to talk today? Where's your button? Okay, there's Bo. All right.
At Papa Murphy's, we read seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $12. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Okay, I need 250 live views for the Habs Challenge. I have 60. I said I would take song requests. We'll play Michael Allen Harrison's song of the day, and then I'll take song requests at 4:30. It's 4:16 right now. Bo's gonna stay in this room, but Woof Woof's in the other room with Bear. All right. Should I take my coffee with me? Yes.
Switch to Progressive and you can save hundreds. You know, like the sign says.
Buy it your way at Toyota of Portland. A new Toyota for zero out of pocket, zero first payment, and zero stress.
$238 per month for the Corolla LE. $237 per month for the Corolla Hybrid LE.
Safe and comfortable.
All right, I'm gonna mute you for 1 second.
Over the world. It's whisper quiet while it works your
All
abs
right.
and core.
Where's I need to get
Hamstrings and calves.
a power bar. Hold on 1 second.
Join the hundreds of thousands of
Hold on 1 second.
with QB. Call to find out how to get your QB with free shipping.
70 degrees in here.
Risk-free trial. You'll also get this QB workout mat free. Now keep fit while you sit with QB. 200 call 800-314-9874. That's 800-314-9874. Call now.
Toyota of Portland, just out of downtown. And
I need to grab a power bar. Hold on a second. I'm gonna mute you for 1 second. Thanks for waiting. I'll take some song requests at 4:30 after Michael Allen Harrison song.
Found someplace else to live.
Growing up in Mount Clemens, Michigan, just north of Detroit, Greg's family was forced to move for such a project. Broadway Avenue was widened and turned to Michigan Route 3.
As a 4-year-old child,
Organic gummy bears.
recognized what was going on. I just knew
RX peanut butter chocolate bar. Where's Woof Woof?
literally a smoke-filled room would draw lines
Hello.
and say, this is where this is going.
Where's Bear?
And there was
Hello.
some compensation, but once again, my
Here, Woof Woof. People like to say hi to you.
compensation
Whoa.
was what it was. My father, he shared that story with me so many times. I felt like I was there and lived it with him.
Correcting those errors means giving everyone impacted a path to have their voice heard. Just one of the ways the team is doing this? Online outreach. In just 1 month, they received 15,000
Let me check the studio.
comments. The team hopes to have this first phase of public outreach summarized by the end of this month. Chris McGinnis KGW News.
Yeah, I love to hear his story about his dad, too. All right, Matt, let's check in on the forecast. We have some nice days coming up, right?
Yeah, we do, actually. Absolutely. And, today wasn't terrible. There was some sunshine out there, right? I don't know. I thought it was okay on the cool side. This is a really interesting look. I'm time-lapsing this right now. This is from our Solar Vineyard Skycam in Yamhill County, and you can see this shower out here. There's the southern edge of it. Here's the top of it, and then on off it is producing some rainfall. So it'll be interesting to see the evolution of that in time-lapse. It's keeping things cool. It's only 49 degrees in Yamhill County. Meanwhile, out at Newport, about the same type of scene. You see these strong showers. There's the sun right there. There it is, peeking through the cloud, at least trying to, right? It is 45 degrees out on the coast, but the wind is calm, unlike yesterday. And up in the Cascades, that is snowfall that you see from our Skycam at Timberline Lodge and the beautiful and snowy Mount Hood National Forest, 27 degrees. So the great days of powder continue. I love skiing in March. It's actually one of my favorite months of the year for skiing because the snow is deeper, you tend to get good snow, and the days are longer. It's just all good. Doppler radar, strong showers down south, but there's really not a lot in the Portland area right now.
I'm checking the studio right now.
On the Fremont Bridge here, moving through Multnomah County, and then a lot more over Clackamas County, but as we go to Washington, Yamhill County, there's not too much. This is probably the storm that we're time-lapsing here as we look eastward from our Solar Vineyard Skycam. So it's probably that system there just entering southwestern Clackamas County right now, but these are not as strong as they were yesterday. The rainfall since midnight's been pretty light, less than a tenth of an inch in pretty much all locations here until you get up to Astoria, which had 0.16 of an inch, 500 down to McMinnville.
It's not even signing in.
Our high temperature today, 54, so a little bit warmer than yesterday, 1 degree, 56 over in Troutdale.
Log in.
In the state, 40s and 50s once again. Baker City, 48, which is 9 warmer
Woof
than
Woof, do you want to go into your account first? Woof Woof said yes.
So those 55s, and Hermiston has hit 56. Tomorrow morning, 35. So the chilly mornings continue.
Oh,
In fact,
Woof Woof wants to be on camera, but he wants to check his account.
Some lower than that. But tomorrow,
Let me see.
dry. Through a few showers in there around the 5 o'clock hour. They will be much more widely scattered than what we're even seeing today. And today, they're pretty widely scattered. So it should be a fairly dry day for us. Here's the high-resolution imagery. We've got a little
Woof Woof says my account doesn't update till 9 p.m.
So keep an eye on that. It's produced a few thunderstorms earlier in the day and yesterday as well. But most of that will stay offshore.
All right.
So I don't look for any big...
How many coins do you have, Woof Woof?
impacts from this. Now, there's this overall area of low pressure in the upper atmosphere and cool weather right off our coast.
140.
Sinking south towards
You need
California.
150 to send anything.
Every, 12 hours or so. We get
Oh, you want to say hi in the broadcast? Let's see if you're featured.
Island. Here's the next one that's right off the Oregon coast right now, and that increases the showers. But as that whole thing moves farther away from us, the odds of us getting impacted by those showers becomes even less. And Futurecast picks up on that.
Recent broadcast.
Drawing it out a little bit, and then Thursday we
sunset
go
on the beach.
Friday also looks good. Saturday looks good, and it warms up too. And then Sunday, the rain comes in. That is going to be a really cold weather
What about
system
feed?
that drops our snow levels all the
Trending?
way down to and below.
I'm in the feed. Am I trending?
Believe it or not. So
yes.
now, Portland, it's
5 more live
to
broadcasts.
the east, 53 degrees right now in the city.
All right. Well, what did you want to go into the broadcast and say hi?
Tomorrow there may be a sprinkle or two.
All right.
A dry day. Definitely dry for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll go 60 Friday, 61 Saturday. Enjoy that. Don't forget, we set the clocks forward. So we're going to Sunday morning as daylight saving time begins. And then look how much colder it is with high temperature.
Wolf appreciates the broadcast because he likes to be in part of it. So he'll give a hug. Right there. Who gave a wow?
Even though we're changing the clocks and it's feeling like spring, winter is not done with
Vince.
us just yet.
It's just
Okay, well, thanks. Then I get an additional emoji.
I was looking at this story, and I can't even believe that it's this week marks 6 months since our wildfires really exploded last fall. Can you believe that?
No, yeah, it's hard to believe, but nobody's going to forget it. That was an epic event for us, and they were the worst. In fact, fires
Did you want to say anything else, Wolf?
in so many parts of Oregon
No?
are a long way from recovering,
All
especially
right.
in San Antonio.
Let me check my account.
So we want to take a look at what the city of Detroit looks like here. There are still piles.
You want to try and
And there is, though, some encouraging news. Water is just starting to get turned on. It's not drinkable. It's meant for
All right,
things
let's
like
leave that.
flushing a toilet, but hey, it's a start. And also, just announced today, the United Way of the Mid-Willamette Valley has donated $250,000. That will go toward
Too many
Community
notifications.
Center, replacing Detroit City Hall. Still, there are a lot of concerns. Firefighters with the Idana Detroit District are worried after losing much
All right.
of their tax base.
Hold on a second.
We've been very conservative with our budget. But December 2021, our lights will go out. We won't be able to pay our electric bills or whatnot.
Yeah, that's really too
Oh,
bad.
look, you're not on
I had to have
camera.
them
Wait one
actually
second. I have to log
volunteer
back in.
The deputy chief says they're talking to state lawmakers and applying for grants.
There you
and
go.
hoping something comes
Wait.
through.
Okay.
We will have more on this story coming up on The Story tonight at 6 o'clock. And still to come here at 4, as the weather gets nicer, you might want to check out the outdoor dining scene in Portland. A new Portland patio guide has a lot of options for you.
Why is there feedback?
Please give to the KGW Great Food Drive going on now.
This is Susan. She's the manager of a food.
You want to say hello? I'm saying hello back to Wolf there.
You want to say hello? The city was devastated by wildfires. Almost
All right. I'll give a like. Then I'll get a like emoji to go with the other 3 emojis. Now I have a heart. And appreciate. And why does it only say 2 reactions when there were more than that?
Buy it your way at Toyota Portland. A new Toyota for zero out of pocket, zero first payment.
And where's the like that I just gave?
Comfortable indoor shopping for all your favorite Toyotas at Toyota Portland. Feeling camera shy?
Okay, now it's there. Why doesn't it say 4 reactions? It says 3 reactions.
Just one treatment. Get maximum results with minimal downtime.
All right.
Just a few days. For a very limited time, get a
Let me check the
$1,000 mini facelift.
profile. Not that it matters.
Visit drdarm.com. They call for your free virtual consultation.
Then I'll check the studio and see if it's still broken.
Door is America's new front door. So why not look
I got an email asking how I was doing that today. All right. Whoa, it just crashed. See, the Google Chrome just crashed by itself. That's not good. Why is Microsoft popping up?
Savings book is out now. There's 16 pages full of fantastic savings.
All right.
Perfect to help you, your family, and your garden get ready for spring. Inside, we've packed it with great
Wolf, are you
deals on
talking to the people or just hanging out?
jumpstart your garden. Kitchen appliances,
All right.
sheets, and
I
towels
have
are fresh off the
1,230 coins. Okay. What was I going to do? Check the... Okay.
now until March 16th. So
This might mess up the sound on the broadcast. Hopefully not. The last time when I tried to launch the studio, that's when I lost the sound in the video on Hacks, but I still had it on Periscope. But let's see. Enable camera and mic. Should I try? Like,
no appointment needed. It's convenient, reliable.
see, when I click join broadcast, I might lose you guys and gals. The tip I heard this week is just say you. I might lose you. All right, it's not working. I click on this. Oh, that's what I should tell him. I click with how I got the there. I'm gonna, oh my gosh, hold on a second. Someone commented on my post.
Toyota Portland, just out of downtown and a few blocks north of the Moda Center. Zero out of pocket, zero first payment, and zero stress.
$326 per month for the Venza LE. $399 per month for the Venza XLE.
Toyota Portland, 000.
You're watching KGW, which can also be seen on these translators.
Welcome back, everybody. You know, spring, Ashley, is only about a week and a half away. Hard to believe, but that has a lot of us looking forward to the nice weather. And one great way to enjoy that nice weather is to get out and eat at one of Portland's awesome.
What happened to the other things I had
That
open?
need support right now too. And if you don't know where to start, Travel Portland is here to help.
All
Steve
right.
Edlin gives us a look at their new patio guide.
It's been over a year now that Portland
Where did it go?
restaurants have had to
Oh, there it
adapt
is.
to the pandemic. One approach that's seen all over the city is expansion into
Let me
the
tell
outdoors,
Pablo. He asked how I did that.
We are so proud of our restaurant.
It's not working,
It's a place
though.
to eat and drink in Portland, and we want
to help them continue to thrive and recover through this really sort of crucial time in history.
Jackie Hagan represents Travel Portland. They've developed a way to help everyone support the restaurant community by creating the Portland Patio Guide. With it, you can find the right place for you with search options.
You can search restaurants by how close they are to your tummy. It's just a fun way of saying
It helps you select where you want to go
and what quadrant of the city they're in.
plus other options that you can use.
Overhead coverings, places that have heating options. And there's also an option to search by places that take reservation.
We certainly need people to come out and dine.
Reservations are required at Montelupo's Italian Market and Restaurant. Co-owner Adam Berger appreciates the city for making the street outside his market into a dining plaza.
Did I lose you? Let me check. Okay, I right click or left click?
For example, orders are made with one
right click.
And the space is limited
Inspect.
to 10 tables and 20 to 30 diners.
Probably number one phone call in the restaurant is, do you have outdoor dining and what is it like?
The Portland Patio Guide can tell you that.
To have a guide like this where your viewers can go, we have much bigger reach and we'll reach a lot more people that way.
A nice place to figure out what to expect when you get there.
Kendra Tauscher is the assistant general manager at Ankeny Tap and Table. While cleaning, distancing, and touchless ordering are standard here, the guide will show you if your pet is welcome, whether heaters are running, and what kind of coverings are being used.
Making sure we had a dry, warm space for our guests to enjoy what we offer.
It's super comfortable. We've got a really big heater.
I'm going to send it to Contact Taps also. Contact Taps. I need to move you over for a minute. Okay, there.
It's a way to find over 200
Where's my
outdoor
message,
dining
though?
options in Portland, and we're adding to that list all the time.
With lots of places, each one has its own character. The guide can help you get there.
Everything is safe and taken care of.
To help get the word
Let
out.
me check my
We
drafts.
really appreciate it.
Keep eating out, keep supporting our restaurants.
I'm Stephen Redlin, KTW News.
All right, contact. Okay, I said I would turn it off at 4:30. I'm going to wait. President Biden did what? Said what?
Went to a hardware store in Washington, D.C. It's just one of the millions of struggling small businesses. He says the new relief bill changes the Paycheck Protection Program. For 2 weeks, the Small Business Administration will only accept applications
How I'm getting the error
for the
report.
forgivable loan program from firms with fewer than 20 employees. It would prevent larger companies from getting assistance first. The House is set to pass the $1.9
All right.
trillion
Let me see what the error
relief bill
report's saying.
as soon as tomorrow, possibly.
55 errors.
Republicans don't
Warnings.
support the bill. They believe too much is spent on items not related to the pandemic. Our Verify team looks into what's going on. Here's Jason Puckett.
We're talking about how much of the current stimulus bill is actually related to COVID-19. Why are we talking about this? Well, the bill passed in the Senate on party lines, and the House is set to vote on it this week. But politicians like Congressman Ted Budd claim with about 9%
No errors. Here's the warnings.
meaning 91% of it not even COVID related. So let's verify. Is it true that 91% of the stimulus isn't COVID related? Our main sources to find out are the Congressional Budget Office, or CBO, the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, and the bill itself, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. So there's a lot of political spin going on here. The term COVID related is broad. Does that mean actual spending on the vaccine and treatment? Or since the economy has been
62 warnings.
does that also include funds that
Let me
help
give him
the
the
economy
report.
recover? Well, politicians aren't really explaining what they mean. So let's take a look at the
Attached.
actual numbers. Right now, the bill is roughly $1.9 trillion. Of that, only about $265 billion, or 8.5%, is specifically listed for things like COVID testing, protective gear, treatments, vaccines, and distribution. That's 8.5% specifically for COVID-19, but that doesn't mean the rest of the bill isn't COVID related. The largest part of the bill is $420 billion in direct stimulus payments to individuals to help with financial struggles caused by the pandemic. Another $350 billion is going towards extending unemployment benefits for those who lost jobs or income
Did
during
it add it or not?
And about
billion is being used to help schools reopen safely.
It
That's
said
another
oops.
$900 billion set aside because
Okay, I'm
of
sending that
COVID-19's
log.
effects on our economy, unemployment, and schools. Now, to be clear, there are some parts of this bill, including
62
$110
warnings. What do they
billion to increase
say?
the child tax credit that have been
Let's
Democratic
see.
priorities before the pandemic. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimates the bill has at least $312 billion of policies that have little to do with the current crisis. But that's about 16% of the bill that's not related, not 91%. Bottom
What?
line, the claim that 91% of the stimulus bill is not COVID related is false. Will you verify? I'm Jason Puckett.
The Biden administration
They
is
all
getting
say
blame from
WebSocket
Republicans for a record number
connection
of
is
migrant children
closed
along the southern border.
before
More than
the connection is
3,200
established.
children are in Border Patrol custody. The number tripled in just 2 weeks. The facilities are not designed for children. Experts point to the pandemic and natural disasters as reasons for the increase, along with feelings the Biden administration won't be as strict as the Trump administration. So more people are coming into the country thinking they have a better chance at claiming asylum.
What we saw in the Trump administration was intentional child separation and no effort to reunite families.
When
All
you
right.
say that you're not going to enforce our immigration laws, when you say that you're not going to build a border wall,
The
it
latest-
has consequences. And we're seeing the tragic consequences of that right now at the border.
During a tour today, the Texas governor called for more funding for enforcement, COVID testing for migrants, and for all Border Patrol agents to be vaccinated. Jury selection has started again in the murder trial of Derek Chauvin. The process was delayed yesterday over some unrelated legal questions.
Vaccine drive at
Jurors
Nike
have
this
already been
weekend?
assigned to the 12-member
Where's,
panel.
let me check.
Chauvin is the former Minneapolis
Who's
police
eligible
officer
to go?
accused of killing George Floyd. Cell phone video of Chauvin kneeling on Floyd's neck set off a wave of protests around the country. Chauvin has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder and manslaughter
Fulton
charges.
Valley
Some
Fire and
legal experts
Rescue?
wonder whether he could face a count of third-degree murder.
Only one police
No
officer
times
in
are available.
Minnesota has been convicted for killing someone while on duty, and he was convicted on a third-degree murder charge.
Now, Chauvin's defense team has indicated if the third-degree charge is included, they will file
Wait.
an appeal. The British royal family is responding to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's interview with Oprah. The palace released a 4-line statement saying the family was saddened to learn of the full extent of the couple's challenges and that the issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously. The palace says they will address those concerns privately. In Sunday's interview, the couple talked about racism within the palace and a lack of support from the royal family over mental health issues. Well, still to come here at 4:30, childcare is one of the main
There's no
reasons
times
that
available,
the number
though.
one reason why so many women left their jobs last year.
It says choose an appointment, but there's no times. More times?
We'll take a look at some potential ways to get women back into the workforce.
All right, there's no times available.
Because
All right.
bacteria grows below the surface where you can't clean. Let us clean and sterilize to CDC standards. Call Permatreat.
Social media content.
Thousands of people living in these
Okay.
adult foster care homes in Oregon had no way to get the
Let me
vaccine.
close this error report. Do I still have you, or did I lose you with the report?
Questions, but more importantly,
No errors. 6 user messages.
agencies, these residents are finally getting the help they need.
They will get vaccinated.
We're giving you a voice. We are pushing
4
for
verbose. What does that
Know
mean?
the vaccine facts. Visit kgw.com/vaccine.
All right, let me see if you're still here. I'm gonna close. Oh, I'm gonna close. First, I'm gonna close YouTube because I don't want to get flagged.